Well guys, look at us, there's a gang of Royal Enfields.
They're quite cool though, aren't they?
Yeah, they are. Got Ruby, who looks effortlessly glam on absolutely anything she rides. Cow. We asked who this bike is aimed at, and of course, you know, the brands, the manufacturers have their own marketing spiel as to who it is aimed at. They said it's aimed at men and women, it's aimed at younger people, maybe like sort of 18 to 35. Sorry if you're above that age bracket. Don't take offence at me. It's aimed at professionals, it's aimed at commuters, it's aimed at people that perhaps might want a second bike, or perhaps people that are stepping up from a 125 and want a little bit more poke. In London, nobody gives a sweet damn. Told you, riding in London is like the law of the jungle, honestly. You've got to be the right kind of defensive and the right kind of aggressive as well. It's a weird mix. It's almost like all the IAM training goes out the window. It's survival of the bloody fittest. Look us all. I love that. Pop, pop, pop. So nice. We've got nice clear switch gear. It's not complicated. We don't have adjustable levers, but the reach is fine for my baby hands. Brakes are good. Yes, they work well. Wow. But it's so gridlock, man. Wow, beautiful. Gangster. Look at that dude.
That dog's caught as well.
Yeah. Oh my god. It's Prada, darling. Oh, it loves the attention. She's like, pose, pose, pose.
Italian greyhound, isn't it? That's as big as they grow, you know.
Really? Yeah. Wow. So guys, we're on the Royal Enfield Hntr 350s. I originally thought it was called Hunter 350, but apparently they're dropping the U. Royal Enfield are classing this bike as a roadster. It has 20 brake horsepower and it has 27 newton meters of torque. I was trying to think about who this bike competes with, and when it comes to your generic like Japanese manufacturers or your Austrian, for example the Duke 390, the RC 390, the Kawasaki 400, like I don't think they can be compared, because even though the capacity is similar, they have like double the horsepower of this. But one of the great things about 350 with 20 brake horsepower is the engine isn't highly stressed, and because it's not highly stressed, surely that must mean that it's going to be a more reliable engine. So speaking of engines, it utilises a single cylinder J series engine, which is currently commonly found in the Meteor and the classic Royal Enfield, or the Meteor 350 and the classic 350. Now this is mapped slightly different for kind of, you know, a bit more spice through town, a bit more poke, a bit more pull. And given that this is, you know, aimed at people that are just doing what we're doing today, I think it really benefits from, you know, a little bit of spice. London is absolute carnage, but it's kind of weirdly fun on a bike like this because it's light, it's agile, it steers really quick, like it has a really steep rake, 25 degrees, which means it just turns so well, and especially on 17-inch wheels front and rear, it is like a city traffic carver. This bike has a 13-litre tank, and some people that own the Meteor and the Classics in like Facebook forums and stuff, they have reported that they're getting very close to 100 miles per gallon, which is insane. Sounds good. The weight combined with the seat height on this bike is ridiculously accessible. So Royal Enfield really wanted to offer a bike, you know, that was good for the shorter man or woman. And the seat height is 790mm, which is super low. Like, I can flat foot this bike with a bit of a bent leg, which is nice, especially for, you know, scenarios like this where, you know, sometimes you got to paddle, you're commuting. It's just very confidence inspiring to be able to stop right now and just paddle, 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 both feet down. Love it. The weight, 181 kilograms, it wears it so well. You would not think this bike is 181 kilograms, not on God's green earth. It's so light to push around, it's easy to maneuver, it's really, really just easy to, I say live with, I've not lived with it, but I've spent a whole day on it, and yeah, it's just cracking to push it around, get it in and out of spaces, no dramas whatsoever. Now this actually has some pretty cool stuff on it. I know for a fact that the rear caliper is a, I want to say Brembo, which is like by Brembo, which is kind of, it's owned by Brembo, but it's like the lesser quality or the lesser expensive caliper. So it's still got, you know, pretty good had to. Disturbing London, baby, we are about to branch out. Oh, we got to stop for these guys. Goes off the line pretty well. Do it again. On your tiptoes, weight, no weight on the seat, got to keep it light at the back. Little burnout lesson with Ruby. So yeah, as I was talking about the brakes before it kind of, we went into like hooligan mode, it's got quite good rear brakes, and in London we have had to test them today with taxi doors opening on us, cyclists like just beavering out of junctions, and they've stopped us really, really, really adequately. The suspension, I found out, so even though we don't have upside down forks on the front and we've got the gaiters, I think they're 41mm in diameter, And they are unbranded Showa suspension units, like forks and shock. Look at this, it's like the Wild West. It's like the Wild West. Ah, the shard! Oh, amazing! Wow! This is how you explore London on a Royal Enfield! So, it's okay, it's fine. That was amazing. The shard and the bridge, and wow. So the dash on this bike, we've got a mixture of analog and we've got digi as well. So the analog bit is the speed, but we've got a gear indicator, we've got the time, we've got what our fuel range is in bars. You've got a USB charging port just underneath the left hand switch gear, which is pretty nifty, especially if you charge a mobile and stuff. So the bike comes with a 3-year warranty. Its first service is at 300 miles and then every 3,000 after that. I didn't realise this, but Royal Enfield actually quality check these bikes by when they're sort of pre-production, they put 37,000 miles on the bike and then they strip it all apart and like sort of crack test it and everything like that, and just make sure that, you know, it's up to standard, it's up to scratch. Another thing that I didn't realise until like I clocked it with the other bikes, they've got centre stands. Now it's chain driven and centre stands are often overlooked, but really like a lot of people want them, and it's got it. It does come with a halogen bulb at the front, but this bike there are reams and reams of accessories for it, and included in those accessories is like black and then LED lights, which is pretty tasty. Oh, an RS. Yes, girl! She's not messing. This is how you literally have to filter in London. You have to be a savage. So all in all, I've loved just hooning around on this bike in London. You know, such an aggressive environment. Everyone's in a rush. Like, time is money. Honestly, this engine I feel is made for torque and not horsepower. Like, it is so much fun. It's great for just whacking it on and just shooting forward and just filling the gap that you need to fill in this ridiculous place that is London. Look at this. What are we doing? What is this London life? There's a queue of us. We've got a central reservation. We've got a bloody bus. Christ almighty. Thank you. Beep beep. So it all boils down to price. How is it priced within the market? When I heard about this, I was shook. So the price of variant 1, which is a solid colour, £3,899. So for example, the bike that I'm on, the grey, falls under that category. The bike that Rube is on with the white and the blue, that's classed as a variant 2, which is two-tone, and that is £3,979. So it's not a big step up for a two-tone colour option, which again just keeps in line with making everything all accessible. It's not like £1,000 like some other bikes, some other manufacturers for, you know, a colour option. Or 400 quid or something, you know? For the price point, for the product, for the quality of the product, it's almost like an affordable but premium feeling machine. steering is so light and nippy and agile, and don't get me wrong, like when you're in third gear, even second, and you whack it on, like whacking it on now, that's not bad. Let's say it's in third gear and we wind it on. It's quite a docile throttle response, but in second gear it's like perfectly fine. It's just if you're going really slow and you're in a high gear, like it's not built to rip your arms off in acceleration, if that makes sense. But it sounds good. Now, bearing in mind there is a few different Royal Enfields with us on this launch, the Journos and the Influenza and all that jazz. We're on the Hntrs, but we've got like Himalayans and all sorts. It's a perfect weaseling bike. It's just a great bike to weasel to the front of everything on. Wow, look at that freewheel beast. Piaggio. What a like, sometimes I think we push the boundaries when it comes to London riding, but it shows you that we're not actually riding all that extreme. There are just some real careless folk. Oh, Maserati with a funky plate. Nice. Left-hand drive. I knew this launch would be absolute carnage. Freaking London riding. People do this by choice. Us apparently. But no, it has been the perfect insight as to how these bikes perform and handle and cope with an urban environment, a super urban environment. So today we've ridden this through intense traffic, and I'd just like to summarise my experience on this bike. So my experience of this bike today has been absolutely spot on. I feel like the bike absolutely hit the brief. I feel like it has far exceeded probably what it was designed for. The quality of this machine is absolutely insane. Just the detail, like the tank, there's been a lot of thought that's gone into the colour schemes, just the materials and everything. It just screams really good quality and robust quality materials that will hopefully last. So one of the things that impressed me most about this bike, obviously the ride was amazing. It's comfy, the seat's wide enough but narrow so that if you want to, you know, touch the floor easier, you just slide a bit further forward and it's got you back. The ride was effortless, smooth, it's really agile, the handling is really like good. It's just nimble, it just nips through the traffic, gets you around the bends, you know, really tight sort of steering lock. And yeah, that's really impressive about this bike. But what's probably more impressive about this bike is the price. Now, if we take the Dapper Grey, for example, the one that I've been riding today, this bike retails at £3,899. I think that is wildly cheap, given that there's a lot of, you know, 390s on the market, which are £2 more than that. And granted, you're probably getting double the horsepower with them, but I think today has shown that this is more about the torque than it is the power. It's just a great, you know, sort of bit of a docile throttle, but it's there when you need it, and it's just a plodder, but it's a comfortable plodder, it's a fun plodder. And then yeah, with the two-tone, £3,979, 3 years warranty. I just don't think you can go wrong. So overall opinion of this bike, it gets a thumbs up from me. It's dirt cheap and it's so much fun, and it just looks awesome. It looks like a proper classy retro roadster. and I definitely wouldn't say no to having one in my garage. So hopefully you've enjoyed this first impressions review at the launch of the Hntr 350. Let me know what you think of the bike in the comments below. I think it's great, and yeah, I'm looking forward to hearing what you guys think. Don't forget to subscribe, and until the next time guys, take care and ride safe. See you later. "20 brake horsepower."
Yeah, well at least it's a nice small bike, like they were saying, for the ladies.
For late, you know, so that we can handle it. Oh, he's so cheeky. Ah, look. Indian. Yeah, boo, hiss. Boo, hiss. No, Indian, please don't work with me. CEAT. Yeah, boy. Grip it.